Okay, so yes, we can continue. So, uh, in the end, we should put in mind that the true value lies in the problem solving process. So, whenever you design, you should know that, oh, yeah, I'm trying to solve this problem. So, if you're able to achieve it, and that means that the design is great. You understand? So, we'll take our first point, and our first point is gathering inspiration intentionally. So, gathering inspiration intentionally is kind of a conscious effort to find ideas or perspectives of or from other designers, visuals, and also their experiences purpose of with the purpose and focus to improve your influence in your design work. So, based on what you have seen, based on people's ideas, that's when you'll be able to get kind of the idea that you really want. So you can see that, oh, this person's design, you combine their designs and you base on that to create your special one or special idea from you. So at least you have an overview of how you want your design to be. You understand? Because, oh, this person did it like this. Okay, you check their flaws. Okay, they didn't do it like this. Okay, then I'll do it like that. So you kind of get ideas or perspectives from other designers on what they did wrong or what they did right. Then you can apply it in yours. You understand? So in this concept, we are going to deal with two types of inspirations for designers. So the first one, we have the online platforms. Online platforms. So online platform is one important platform that you can get inspiration. We are all familiar with Behance, Dribble, Awards, and even Pinterest. I think Pinterest is the most popular one amongst. That's where you are going to find a lot of uh, design inspirations. You understand? So Behance, you can get curated galleries by industry. You get a lot. I use that a lot, and it really helps me in my design process. Dribble to you get a lot of inspirations over there. If you do UI, UX, or web design, you can get such design inspiration as our words too. Also, Pinterest too. Pinterest is like all in one thing. You get almost everything over there. Your mood boards, your themes, your niches, and also design vibes over there. Understand? So our next one is the offline sources.
Okay.
So we have offline sources. So with the offline sources, you can see our mother nature. God is the greatest designer. That's what we always see. When you look at nature, how nature produces its design, it's wonderful, it's beautiful. When you look at parrots, like kind of those how God blend colors with this nature and these animals and other things, you can pick inspirations from there. So with your color blends and other things, you can pick it from there. You understand? Also, packaging is more like a product. When you see product and you see you see how they package, how they design it, you can pick inspiration from there. Even architecture, billboards, etc. You can get a lot from there. And also we have print media. So print media, we all know magazines, posters, and albums and other uh, album covers and book layouts. You all get this stuff over there. So these are some sources of inspiration that we can get. So we have the online and then the offline sources. You understand? So
Yeah.
with the online sources, as I said, we have uh, these online platforms, Pinterest and the others, and then we have offline sources that we don't even have to use the phone to access, but we can get it freely. Understand? So our next point is how to collect inspiration. So you collecting inspiration is you just don't scroll. So let's say you're on Pinterest and then you want information. You want information. You want to get ideas to start your design. You don't just have to be scrolling. So let's say you want a church flyer. You have to, let's say, uh, get a mood board. You understand? So you group that for you get a mood board or folder or whatever you call it. In Pinterest, like, you can get a mood board, and then I think it's a secret mood board or something that you can also uh, keep other people's design stuff over there. You understand? So you save them into categorized boards. So you have flyer designs for church. Let's say patterns, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of graphic design elements. You understand? So after you save them, you have to annotate them why you like it. So let's say you pick one design, be like, oh, this design, the use of spacing is really great, and you keep it like that, so that you wouldn't really forget why you even save that particular design, or that particular thing that you pattern or something. Oh, I want to use this design for this. Oh, this design, they use great colors, they use, you see, so that whenever you go for it again, you wouldn't really forget why you saved it. So another thing is that you have to ask, what emotion is this evoking? I mean, the design, what emotion is that design evoking? So how does it achieve that? So you have to collect inspiration, and you just don't have to scroll, but these things will help you to gather your inspirations and other things, so that when you go to it again, you'll be able to get it right, and then you can use that in your design process. So do you have any questions so far?
Yeah, there's a hand raised.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think it's Francis, so you can talk. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't my hand actually. It was from Erica also.
Someone else. Erica.
Yeah.
Oh, hello,
Yes.
Erica. She's not here. Okay. So I think the next point we are going to tackle is clarifying your design purpose. Clarifying your design purpose. So knowing what message you want to communicate, and then also who you are designing for, and what action or feeling you want to spark in your audience is really important. I think clarifying your purpose, we learned it. I think our first session,
First
when
session.
talking
Yeah.
about the design purpose and other things. So basically, we know what design purpose is. So I'll still have to go over it because of others. So when you clarify your design purpose, you actually kind of avoid random or disconnected visuals. You understand? So it's like this is the kind of thing you want to achieve. You understand? So you go straight to it. You don't have to divert. You don't have to put in anything that will distract the message. Understand? So the color choice, the font, and other things will help you evoke those emotions, and then those message that you want to carry to the uh, reader or the client or whoever is reading. So also, clarifying your design purpose will help you create more meaningful and effective designs. You understand? You just don't design, you just don't create anything like that. And also, you can also stay focused and intentional throughout the creative process. You can't divert, because you already know what you are doing. You understand? So let's pick the first point. So one thing is that you ask the right question before opening your software, opening Photoshop, opening Canva, Figma, whatever. Understand? So the first question you can ask is, what is the objective of this design? Understand? What is this design trying to achieve? You ask those questions over there. You can also ask, who is the audience? Are these for children? Are these for this kind of people? Are these for business people? Certain class of people? You need to ask this question. So whenever you want to design, I think it's really effective. I tried it. I've been trying it, and it actually works, because it's like you know what you are doing. You plan it, and you wouldn't really be thinking a lot. When I was designing, I think when I started designing, sometimes I'll be doing this, and then I know that, oh, I have this design to do. I have this design to do. So when I start designing on this particular canvas, then another idea will come. Then I'll open another canvas, and I'll go and continue another design. Whilst I've not even finished the first one. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but when you're able to take note of certain things, like, oh, you know the objective of the design, it's like the free flow of information is there. You have planned everything, and you can just the you can just do your thing, and then it will even help you speed up your work, because you know what you're up to. So another question you can ask yourself is, what platform is this designed for? What platform is it designed for? This one we know, print, digital, social media, whatever. I wouldn't really have to explain much. And another one is what feeling should the audience walk away with? So this is what I said. This is what we learned the other time too. The kind of emotion, the kind of feeling that that the audience would feel. Is it pity? Is it joy? Is it happiness? Is it excitement? Whatever emotion you need to note that in your design process. So now let's move to our next point. That is client or project brief breakdown. So um one thing in my design career too, one thing I noticed or one thing I didn't do was that when someone wants a design and then I just go oh, okay, I want this design church flyer, or I want this design, then okay, oh, I know how to do it, and straight away I'll go and do it and bring it, and I'll get series of corrections, series of them, because I didn't really pay attention to what they really wanted, and they didn't even ask, oh, do what you want, like follow your instincts. When you go to be like, oh, I don't like this one, my wife don't like this one, just like necessary comments, you understand? But sometimes you feel like, oh, is the audience or is the client that's not really helping, or no hard baby. But basically what happens is that it's sometimes our fault. We don't take clients instructions, and also we don't break things down to clear and also actionable parts, like the goals, the target audience, the style, whatever that they want. So in design processes like this, what I do is that um, I give uh, the client, you know, a questionnaire for them to fill. So based on the questionnaire they will give, I'll make sure that the kind of questions that will, like, I'll try and get some key or important words. So let's say, oh, what kind of design do you want? Do you want a youthful design? Do you want a luxurious a logo? Do you want this? Do you want that? So from based on the questionnaire or the briefs they gave me, I'll pick the most important words. Then what? I'll follow it step by step before I can what create the design for them. So in that case, we know that we are on the same page with the client, because this is what he said. So if the person wants luxury design, you wouldn't go and bring a playful something. So if the person wants a luxury font, you wouldn't go and bring a playful font. You understand? So why does this matter? It helps you also avoid confusion or miscommunication. Today, like this, I experienced something like someone told me that he wants a design. He came with nothing. And then I told him that, oh, yo, I have sent you this questionnaire to follow. This He told me that I'm doing long. So then, like he cannot, like he cannot be doing that because they are in a hurry. Yeah, this, yeah, that. And I told him that I don't work like that. So the best thing for him to do is to go to another designer, because I can't work under pressure, and he's not the only person that I'm working for. You understand? And then I called it off. You understand? So if you're able to get such briefs down and other things to help you, let's say if you don't take the brief and then you are working, you can sometimes you just feel like you can't, like you don't even know. You have to go back to the client and ask him, um, what did he say he wanted? Did he say he wanted it like this? Did he say he wanted it like this? But when you have, how do you call it, um the brief
Questionnaire.
over there, you can also follow it carefully. You understand? So I'll give a questionnaire, or I'll put it inside the group so that we can follow on how to deal with such clients, because it's not every client that you need. We need to fetch them out. We need to get better clients that can work with us, because if you fail, though it affects your brand, and it affects you too. It doesn't affect them in any way. So as I said, when you after you highlight these important words, you can also be able to clarify the brand voice and tone that they want to carry. So they've given you, oh, minimal, youthful, luxury. They've given you something like that. That's the brand tone that they want to voice out. That's what they want to bring out. Based on those stuff they've given you, you'll be able to digest it and not break it down very well, so that's what you can deliver as a designer. I hope you get it.
Yeah, yeah. Understood.
All right. So the next point is the visual strategy and mood boarding. The visual strategy and mood boarding. Visual strategy is something like an intentional plan for how a design will visually communicate a brand's or project's message, tone, and also goals. So basically, it involves how do you call it? It involves some kind of vibe that the design should give. So let's say elegant, like when we talk about luxury or something, it talks about some kind of elegance. When we talk about something minimal, we talk about something simple, talk about something playful, we talk about something fun. So the kind of visual strategy that the company produces, we also have to study that, and also the kind of colors, the fonts, imagery, and layout styles. Also, we can have to consider that, and also how the how the visuals align with the target audience, as I said, because these are the visual strategy. So it's some form of like how the company visually communicate a brand's project or their projects to carry a certain message to what, to a certain class of people. You understand? So let's take our first point: creating a mood board or create a mood board. Mood board is kind of a visual collection, as I said, of images, colors, textures, typography, and even inspiration that visually represent the designer's direction. So when you create a mood board, I'm sure right now you create mood boards. You create mood boards based on the colors, based on fonts, elements. So when you go to my Pinterest account, I've made it in a way that people cannot see, but I've saved lots of people's design, like creative ones, of course, so that, so let's say I have textures, then I've grouped them into a secret mood board. I have font, I have cover art, I have that, I have that. So with that one, I know that, oh, I've grouped my items, I've grouped my kind of colors that I want to use in my project, the kind of fonts. If you need fonts for your project, oh, this font is nice, let me save it into this mood board. So it's like you kind of group them collectively, so that sometimes when, oh, this person wants design, then or you go to your, maybe your mood board, oh, this side, then you go and search for the already saved items. You understand? So creating a mood board is not meant to be copied, like, but you just want to align to the kind of style and tone. So it's like someone has made a church flyer design, and with the church flyer design, you can see that, well, you cannot just go and take the whole design, how they use their colors, how they use their layout, and you cannot just do that. But you can base on that to create your own unique style. You understand? So
Yeah.
we have tools that you can use to create your mood boards. I've not used Melanodes before. I've not used Figma boards, but the one I use is Pinterest secret board. I don't know whether you use it, but Pinterest secret board is the one I use. Even PowerPoint or Google Slides, you can use them. But I think Pinterest secret board is kind of more exciting. I don't know of Melanodes and the Figma boards, but yeah, that's what I'm really familiar with. Yes, please, do you have any question? Welcome, Sharon. Oh, she's gone. Okay.
She left.
Okay. Okay. So
But
now let's do,
around.
come here.
Chief Roosevelt's around.
Because she's not around.
No, Chief Roosevelt's around.
Yeah, my boss. Yeah, he's around. Okay, so our next thing is sketching and structuring your idea. Sketching and structuring your idea. So sketching and structuring your idea is kind of a bridge between your imagination, your thinking, and then after that you'll be able to execute it in your design software or application. So basically it's where you do your rough sketches, rough concepts that start from uh, that you can start before you jump into your digital tools in designing. So basically sketching, you can do quick rough drawings that will help you visualize your ideas before refining them digitally, as I said. So it's not about perfect art. It's not like you are doing something perfect, but you kind of do something close to perfect. You understand? Exploring your layout option, brainstorming visual element, and also trying out composition, balance, and flow. So let's take our Next point. So here you start ugly. That's the caption that we give. You start ugly because sketches are not nice. Sketches are not nice. I was only looking into our books. You've made a lot of sketches and then they're all not nice, but you end up picking a nicer one and then you try and produce that digitally. So our first thing you do is that you get a paper or a whiteboard or even your notebook to sketch layout and visual hierarchy. You understand? And also, this one is straightforward, so I wouldn't really focus much on that. And also, we can explore multiple arrangements quickly. So this prevents tunnel vision. I think tunnel vision is more like it looks like you have one inspo, and then it's like you just cannot. It's like that's where your mind is. But at least when you give yourself multiple arrangement, multiple options, you can also like focus on, oh, this guy did it like this guy also did it like this, I'm also doing like this, and then you compare all the three or more, and then you try to you know prevent that kind of tunnel vision. And also, you shouldn't worry about the beauty yet, but you just have to get the structure done. So let's say you've made your rough layout, and so you don't have to worry at all. Oh, is this thing really going to be nice? Sometimes you see someone wants to give you a logo, maybe they'll give you a name, but when you look at the name now, you'll be like, ah, how are you going to do it? But when you immediately you start doing something and then you start like you kind of find, this thing is nice, so this thing. So you just don't have to
Yeah.
just start to worry about the structure or how the layout is, but rather you have to uh, just get the structure down, and then based on that you can be able to produce your magic. So our next thing is we have to deal with focal point. So focal point we talked about in our first lesson. So it's basically where the like the driving of the eye. Whenever you see someone's design, what's the first thing that you see? So the design should be able to move the eye. The design should be able to move the eye, direct the eye. You can also check the spacing and balance, visual weight and flow. So with the visual weight and flow, it's like how much attention an element grabs on a page or screen. So when you look at Nike's uh, 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 flyers, you can see that the visual weight in their design is more like the shoes that they use, the sneakers that they use on. You see, it kind of gives some kind of weight. After the after it gives you that kind of attraction, then it tracks you down to uh, the message they want to convey. Understand? So, uh, elements with more visual weight naturally stand out more, and it's basic. Everybody knows that. As of when you are designing and you see someone's header and is that it's not much big, it's not much detailed. It doesn't really give us that kind of visual weight vibe. So, but the things that can increase visual weight is basically the size, color, and the positioning. You should take note the positioning of the item. You just don't you just don't put that thing that you want people to really focus on anywhere, but you can put it in a way that would will draw the eye or the audience's eye. And also another thing is typography. The kind of typography that you use also help you in the visual weight. You understand? And then the imagery. So detailed or high contrast images also carry a lot of visual weight. So yeah, spacing and balance there, I know we all know. So I think we can also skip. So our bonus tip is you can also sketch three quick layout variation before you commit digitally. You understand? As I said, you can create a lot of layouts. So
Yeah.
after that, you can pick one and then you can work on. Okay. So our next point is digital execution. That's the build phase. The build phase. So the build phase is where you move an idea to design. So it's like from the rough sketches that you have made or mood boards that you have created into an actual digital layout. So you are not just decorating over here. You are building something visual. So like you are building a visual solution with structure, balance, and also intention. Just like you've done all the rough work. It's like Is it when you're about to build a house? It's like you don't just start by painting. You have to start with the foundation. That's basically how design works. So yeah. So the first thing to know is that um when about to start a design, you with the build phase, you set up your canvas. So you set canvas and grace. So with the canvas and grace, you put in you give respect to padding and the margins. You can see that when we shared uh, during our design critique, you could see that people were just not really familiar with this padding and margins. You understand? And then you can see that their designs was on the lines, like it was so close on the line, which was not really encouraging. Okay, so um, the next thing is that you have to choose the right resolution and size as part of the canvas. You see, whenever you are going to start with your design, you go to maybe Photoshop, file, new, you set up your size and the resolution. And the resolution, really need to take how do you call it?
So nice.
You have to really focus on that. Okay. So our next point is you have to place your primary elements. So your headline, your images, your logo, those are the primary elements. And you have to, with that side, you have to keep your hierarchy so strong. Those are the primary elements that you need to take care of. You have to keep your hierarchy strong. And also typography work. um with this one, you select the font based on readability and the vibe that you want the design to convey. You understand? Maximum, unless you know what you are doing, you have to use
Mm.
maximum of two to three fonts. It will be fine for your design. So one for your captions, one for your sub, and then one for, I think, maybe your footer or call to actions or something. You understand? So you also have to make at the typography side, you also have to make your style consistent. So let's say your font weight, your size. You cannot go and use bold for your. You can if you use bold, uh, let's say bold heading, and then your sub comment or whatever under will also be bold. It wouldn't really look nice. So even if you look at our resource over our screen over, you can see that we have step by step is bold, is very bold. And then looking at the other ones, you can see that it's not that bold. It's like light or even regular font. Have you seen?
Yeah.
So so the next thing that we take note of is add colors from your palette. So as I said, whenever you are designing, you need to kind of get the colors that you are going to use. You understand? So if you have to choose like if you're going to use maybe three colors, you know that, oh, your color palette is already there. So you don't have to overload the colors. You just have to avoid those stuff. And then the last part is refine. So with the refine is more like you are finishing the design. You are finishing the design. So you check your alignment, you check your spacing, the image quality, the shadows. So those are those soft touches that you need to check. Oh, did I make the background too much? You see, you just have to kind of polish the design. You understand? So yeah, I think we get this part really well. So the next one is tools and resources to speed you up. Tools and resources to speed you up. With the tools and resources there, we know a lot of them. But with this part, it's all about boosting your efficiency as a graphic designer. So you, you having the right tools and the resources can help you work smarter, not harder. Understand? Sometimes when you work harder, in fact, you just have to be smart. Understand? Whilst people are using raw files to present their work, you have your mock-up already. You understand? It's smart because if if you present uh if you present your work, like if you present a raw file to a client, and then another person also present the raw file on a mock-up, You understand? And then they show it to the client. The client already know that, uh, this is how the thing is going to be. Okay, then I'll choose the one who give us the mock-up, and it kind of has upper hand on you. So one thing we can note over here is that you can use Mailer Note or Notion. I don't know whether you use Notion. Notion is more like kind of keep notes, a lot of things over there, a lot of things over there. So you can organize your ideas over there. You can organize your ideas over here. So with the color palette generation tool, you can use Coolers or Adobe Color to get your colors. You can also get your font pairing. So basically, we have given you everything that you can do in your design process over here. So you getting the font combinations, we have side that you can get font pairings. So if you are struggling with font pairings, you can use some of these websites to get your font pairings right. You understand? So let's say you are using Aileron, and then let's see Anek. You can use it simple as that. You can use Montserrat and also Exo. It works really well. So if you also want assets, you can check Envat. There are a lot of websites, but because of our page, we just have to give some few. Envat to free pay vectors, you get a lot over there. With the mockups like this, we have even free pick also gives mockups, smart mockups is it on Splash or on Blast? On Blast, I think, and then for presentation mockups and other things. So yeah, this is what we have for the tools and resources to speed you up. So last but not least, I think our last is refinement and presentation. So refinement and presentation is more like um, it's like the final but the most important part. Your design might be good, but refinement makes it excellent. You understand? So when you refine your work, it makes your presentation convincing. Understand? So uh, with refining, it's like you are polishing a diamond. You already have your diamond and you're polishing it. So you've built your design. Now you have to check for alignment. As I said, you have to check for consistency, readability, errors, everything, unnecessary clutter. It's like you have to remove anything that doesn't serve a purpose. Sometimes the design we do, whatever we put there, like we don't know why the thing is there. You think that, if you put it there, it makes it nice or something. But sometimes whatever you put there has to get some kind of meaning to it so that it will help in the emotions that the design can bring, or to also help the problem solving process. Yes, and so let's take some few points and then we will end the class for today. Okay, so our first thing is that you need to, after you are done with the design, after you are done with the design, you see, you need to step away for like 20 minutes. Like you go and take a stroll or walk around and then you come back and assess it. I think designing for long hours can make you design blind. I don't know, but like after you finish your initial layout, you can take like 20 minutes break. Understand? So when you return with fresh eyes, you kind of spot some small mistakes you previously ignored because you wouldn't see it because you are done. Like you wouldn't see the mistake, but after you've gone, then you come back again, like you sit down and then you'll be looking through step by step. So you can be correcting certain mistakes that you previously ignored. Understand? So here you are most likely to judge your work from the viewer's perspective. It's like you've moved from the kind of you've moved from the designer's perspective to a viewer's perspective. Otherwise, you can also send it to a fellow designer to also check for you before you send to the next client. You understand? So our next point is flipping your canvas to check balance. This thing, to be honest, I've not really, 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 really tried it by flipping my canvas, but I feel like it's one thing that will help you expose balance issues. So you can instantly see if one side feels too heavy or cluttered or awkward, and then one another side also feels so light. and empty. You understand? So with this one, it's a project for ourselves that we can also apply it to ourselves. That whenever we are designing, we can also, after we've designed the work, you have to flip your design, uh, so that we can check for maybe balance issues and other things. So you can also use mockups for client ready presentation. So um with this one, I think we have said it already. So if possible, explain your choices when presenting. Some clients do not really know much about design, but they tend to feel like they know quite a lot. But as a designer, you should be able to defend your work when you put when you've been asked some questions. So design is easier to appreciate when you you show in context. So I want to explain the presentation part. So instead of just showing a flat file, you just have to place your design in a real world setting, mockups. You understand? So you can put a design on a wall, like a flyer on a wall, or in a hand, or a logo on packaging or something, and also a poster displayed at an event, or let's say maybe a social media post on a phone screen. Understand? So when you make your presentations like that, it makes it it makes it work really well for you. You understand? So sometimes when you are trying to present your work, you just have to be able to answer some questions, as I said. So let's say with the first one, you can say that, oh, I chose this color because it evokes trust. No one knows that, oh, if you use blue, it evokes trust the more than using brown. You understand? So this layout gives the eye from left to right smoothly. Like you should be able to defend yourself as a designer. So it's one skill that you need to really take care of it. Or yeah, you need to take note of that too. So please, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, loud and
People are
clear.
testing. People are testing me that they can't hear me. Okay, so before we end the class, I want to say that design is like building a house. I said it earlier. You don't start with just painting. You start with a plan. You understand? So too often we open Photoshop and then we just jump straight into colors. We just do our background effect, but we don't really have a solid foundation. So we don't really have that kind of thinking, the planning, the kind of the structure. We don't have that. You understand? So whilst you are designing, sometimes it may work for you, but not all the time. Sometimes you just feel stuck. You understand? Sometimes the design just doesn't hold up. You understand? So and you should know that you can't build your house on the sand. It will just it will just get destroyed very soon. Uh-huh. But the truth is, creativity becomes less scary when you use a process. You understand? So when you have a clear path, like from getting your inspiration to getting a concept by drawing, and then you execute with your design tools, you can even make a complex project become so manageable. You understand? Some projects are so complex that you don't even know what to do. But when you start to break it down step by step, you start to get a grasp of it. So um, with all these things that we have said, I believe that you when you are designing, you stop feeling stuck. This kind of creative block, it will stop. You understand? You just have to stop. You stop certain practices. You just guess. Sometimes me, I guess colors. I'm not gonna lie. I guess colors, and sometimes it works. If it doesn't work, I have to try another one. You understand? You start, but when you start creating with purpose, you can also uh, get some kind of perfection. You can get some kind of good result. You understand? Okay. So I've said quite a lot, but it's time for you to give some questions, and then and then we'll try and as much as possible answer you so that we can end our day. So please, this is the presentation that we have. So do we have any questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Could you touch a bit on discovery calls? I think that comes after the giving the questionnaire to the client.
Come again.
That is after you give the questionnaires to the client.
Okay, okay.
Now, I learned that's what I learned from other places as well. That some others do discovery calls, as in they actually engage the client one on one, probably via phone call or a video call.
Yeah, yeah. Like you want me to touch that side?
Yeah, just a bit.
Okay. So personally, what I do is that I um with a design process like this, I just when someone comes to me for a design, I don't just that your price is this. You understand? I and then I what I do is I'll just try to understand. I'll ask you questions first. I'll not give you the questionnaire first too. You see, the thing is, it's not every client that you have to work with. Some are just from hell. They just to destroy. Or like I'm serious. It's not every client that you have to work. So you sometimes you just have to ask some questions that will at least know the kind of person that you want to work with. Some are so demanding, some are evil. You understand? So it's like you try to know the person a bit. You just don't have to like the price is this. Uh-huh. But when you start to get the vibe of the person really well, that's when so you ask questions. What's your design about? You kind of show some form of interest in the person's project. So you get to understand certain things, and then the person starts to trust you. Um, ideally, I don't do video calls, but I once read, I think it was a content that they said if possible you can call the person on video, but that's what the whites do, but not here in Ghana or in Africa. But you can still make a call with the person. So that I think with those ones it's kind of evokes trust. But the best thing for you is after the call, let the person get the kind of thing let the person get the information. Like the the questionnaire is really important. So that whenever they say that they didn't say this, so you be able to refer them that they were the ones who would type this thing. You understand?
Okay.
So the questionnaire that you have now should contain at least some kind of strict rules be that they can follow about number of revisions, about the kind of their budget and other things. You understand? But I hope I've not jumped to your question. But should I still go more about it? What do you want specifically? Hello? Hello? Gabby, can you hear me? This is like Francis is gone. Hello, Naomi. You are late today. Hello? Hello, Francis, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
small
did
network
you get
issue.
what I said? Oh, it's fine. Did you get
Yeah.
what I said?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I got.
Because I think I once had a client like that. I wanted to connect with a social media marketer. And then when I texted him, he actually attended my school. When I texted him, he was all about money. Like, he wouldn't even listen to what I'm saying. He wouldn't listen. Like, you have to pay this, then you make a call, just a simple call. You have to pay. Was it about 400 cedis? I was like, okay, thank you, and that's when I deleted his number. You understand? So I feel like with the client, yeah, client, it's like the one thing I know is that you need to hold them accountable. Like they are coming to you, they are coming for your service, so they don't have any control over you. That's what you want to know. If it's your time, they can't tell me that, oh, you want this evening or this time. If they want it that kind of in a rush, they have to pay a rush fee. You understand? So certain you just have to be straight about certain things so that you wouldn't get any unnecessary clients. Because people are just there to distract you and discourage you, and those people have found a way of kind of uh, dodging them. Understand? I won't do the work. Yeah. So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but should
Oh
do you
yeah,
have more questions?
you've answered it.
Okay.
So
So Naomi is here. Naomi, I didn't see you here, but um, can you hear us? And then if you are here, can we hear your voice?
Yeah, I've been listening. I joined around 8:30.
Hey, okay. You're a bit late. You're a bit late. I think next time you have to join early so that you can uh, uh, hear us the more. But we still have the recording, so we will post it on YouTube or something so that you can also stream. Okay. Thank you so much for
Like,
joining. And please, do you have any other
no,
question?
no, please. I think
Okay.
where you explain the question the last person asked concerning the brief with your client,
Concerning what?
it was about the
whether
discovery thing, the questionnaire.
yeah, whether
The
yeah, the
question. Yeah.
questionnaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, can you please touch on it, the things that you can include in the questionnaire?
Hey, I can't hear clearly.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay.
Okay. So I was asking, like, if you be able to touch on some of the things that you can include in the questionnaire.
In the questionnaire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So with the questionnaire, we can we what we use was I used ChatGPT. You understand? I used ChatGPT to generate a questionnaire for me. So with the questionnaire I generated, he uh, like as to the way I want it. That's what I edited from. But I think I really didn't change much of it. And then first of all, I used Google Forms. I don't know whether you can create Google Forms for yourself, but I think I
Okay.
use Google Forms. So I made it like a test. You understand? So the kind of questions that there are a lot of questions. You have to make them work. You have to make the client work too. You understand? So that they will know what they are up to. Otherwise, they just you see. So what I did was I have the questionnaire, and I created it using my Gmail account. So all the clients that I've worked with, I have their responses over there. You understand? So with the questionnaire, it kind of uh, let you know what you are, the kind of person you are dealing with, the kind of money you are going to get out of it. So it entails a lot, the kind of budget, what kind of message do you want your, maybe let's see if it's a logo, what kind of message you want your logo to convey. What is the name of your business basically? What is this? What is that? You understand? What are the kind of logos that you want? Logos are broad. Some want mascot, some want abstract. What kind of logo do you want? Those questions are there. So I think I have to share it in the group so that maybe the prompt or something, then it will, based on that, you can use it to generate yours. Otherwise, I'll have to help you out with the Google Forms and how to create it, and then you can also do that. When you do that, you limit the kind of clients that will come and disturb you. You understand? So when they see you are serious, when they see you are serious with your business, you wouldn't really get unnecessary ones. If they come, you are able to what cut them off. You understand? So one thing I know is that you don't need a lot of clients. You need a few good high paying ones, and they will pay. You understand? Once you do your things right. You understand? So with the questionnaire, it also serves as kind of a guide for you both. So let's say if you are kind of going wayward from what the client was saying, you can refer to it and you're like, oh, he said you wanted this one, so you can go for it and refer it. You don't have to go and call the client again. Uh-huh. So with this one, they know that, oh, this guy knows what he's about, because 1 minute then you go and call the client. Hannah also open is saying, and Hannah also open is knitting. You see those kind. It makes the kind of it makes the client feel like, this guy on your way biasa. You understand? So it's basically
Yeah.
it helps you to make your business more professional. Because I don't have a business that I'm doing it like a shop, but I'm at home and I'm working like I have a business somewhere. That is the secret. That is the things that we are doing to help ourselves. You understand? So I don't know. I hope I've answered your question. The question I can help you generate payment, then we'll see.
Okay. Oh, you answered my question. The reason I was asking, like, if I had known this earlier, like,
Uh-huh.
it would have been a lot
Easier. Easier.
easier for me. Yeah. And because of an encounter I had with one designer too, that was how
Mm-hmm.
come I decided to start doing my own design
Okay.
because
Mm,
it do what he was supposed to do. So he had packages.
okay, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
he
the
had.
packages, normally what I do is that after the client fills my form, I have a budget for the client. You understand? So if maybe the client says 1,000 cedis, you understand? And then I will
Yeah,
send my package to the person, whether you fall
yeah,
in this range or this range. So um the package that we can have, let's say we have bronze package, we have silver package, we have gold package. I think silver is the highest. So the bronze package is, let's say, 750 Ghana cedis. The gold package is 1,500, and maybe the silver package is somewhere, let's say, 3k, 3,000. So if the person gave you 1,000 cedis, okay, you fall under this category. But these are the items that you are going to get. You're going to get this, you're going to get that. You're not going to get these kind of packages in the way unless you want this. So you can
mm,
even negotiate with the person before you
okay.
start the work. Always before you start the work. I've been duped so many times. I've been duped.
Yeah,
You understand?
I also
But
had
that's
a bad experience with one guy. So he gave us the package, and like it was supposed to include letterhead and some other things. And we made the payment for the work.
Okay.
Like we made upfront. So at first, my husband was saying that we should just make a part payment
Yeah, past payment
before, so
is
that yeah, so that it would help him to do the work quickly.
mm,
Fast forward, we made a payment. He did part of the job. He didn't continue, and then I
okay.
had a breakdown with my phone, so I had to use my husband's phone to chat him. Later, he was
Okay.
giving excuse upon excuses, and he never
Did the design.
completed the work. He didn't do the
Mm,
design too. So I
okay.
really got angry, but I just didn't want to mind him, so I just decided to forget about it and then move on.
Okay,
And
okay. So
since
right now
then,
you
he
are a
has
designer
not.
yourself, eh?
Yeah, I started. I even before I gave him the work, I was doing
Mm,
like I've been designing, but I wasn't really confident in
okay. Oh yeah, I
myself.
understand. Understand.
Uh-huh. So,
Okay.
I have a question for Auntie Mommy.
Okay.
so
Does she usually let her husband check before she gets approval?
sorry.
Oh, Brazil.
I didn't get your question, no.
Do you usually let your husband check and then get approval before you move on with your work?
Oh, not really, but you see, like he's
Why?
supportive. So
Ah, okay.
if I have a problem or something, I discuss it with him. So sometimes he looks at it, so it's okay, or maybe you have to do some changes here and there. So it's
Mm,
good to have a second eye to what you are doing.
okay. Okay, when you put it like that, it's reasonable.
Okay. Hmm. Um. Okay. Okay. But Naomi, I've not seen you in the group before.
I'm always in the group, so
Oh, if you want to
I think
try for.
the last time
Uh,
that was yesterday. I mistakenly had a made a